yet again. I am the mid-grade masochist. Welcome back to another installment of r/no sleep. I have a story here from Horrorontherocks. Thanks for writing this one. Title: The name changes, but the thing remains. This is a super short one. Let's bust through it. I don't have much time. 27 minutes, maybe less. That's all I have before the years catch up, before it finds another crack to slip through. But you need to hear this, for my sake, for yours. Everything you think you know about it is a lie. The books, the movies, the legends whispered in small towns, wrapped in the safety of fiction. They told you a story. That's all it was, a story. No missing children, no Robert. But there was a town. Just not the one they told you about. And the thing in the sewers? It's real. Just not the way you think. I was 12 when I first read the book. A battered, second-hand copy from a yard sale. Its pages worn thin by other hands before mine. I spent a summer lost in it while my father left and my mother found God. Somewhere between the ink and the paper, I met it, a thing that danced in the dark, that whispered to children from beneath the earth. Something about it felt wrong. Not the story itself, the weight of it, the presence behind the words. I told myself it was fiction, that I was safe. 27 years later, I know better. It started with a forum post. I'm a horror scholar, or I was. I spent years unraveling folklore, tracing the roots of fear through cultures. The boogeyman, the witch in the woods, the thing that wears your face. But this one never fit. It wasn't just a monster, it was the monster. A patchwork of archetypes. Part Lovecraftian, part trickster spirit, part interdimensional horror. And yet, it felt older. As if it had no business being in a novel. Then, 3 months ago, I found the post. Buried in an archived occult forum, locked to new replies. The title: The Name in the Abyss. The author was anonymous. The writing was frantic. They claimed the monster wasn't fiction, that the writer, knowingly or not, had pulled something real from the void. That the name had changed, but the thing itself never had. That the monster with the red balloon was Corazon. The name stuck with me. I researched for references. The deeper I dug, the worse it got. Corazon was older than the book, older than the writer, older than stories themselves. A demon of pure chaos, a thing that lived between reality and madness. John Dee had written about him. Aleister Crowley had summoned him. In Thelmetic texts, Corazon was the guardian of the abyss, a shapeshifter with no true form, a thing that fed on fear, dissolving minds into madness. The monster in the novel feeds on fear. It has no true form. It devours children like an old-world demon. Coincidence, I told myself. It had to be. Then I found the black book, a scanned PDF, an early draft, discarded before publication. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who uploaded it. Inside, the names were different. Not minor edits, entire rewrites. Whole passages where the clown had a very different name. Not Robert, not it, but Corazon. The losers still fought him, but they never understood what he was. A thing with 1,000 faces, a voice that spoke in contradictions. A shape that shattered the mind. In the sewers, he whispered in languages no human should know. And in the final confrontation, when Bill faced the thing in the void, the book described Corazon exactly as Crowley had. The guardian of the abyss, the eater of reason, the chaos between realities. I closed the document. My hands were shaking. Then I checked my email. A new message. No sender, no subject. Just 3 words. Stop digging now. That night, I had the first dream. I was in my childhood home. The book was spread around me. Gutted, torn, bleeding ink. Something moved in the dark, wrong. All sharp angles and too many joints. I couldn't see its face, but I heard it speak. I have always been. I woke up with a taste of copper in my mouth, and after that, reality began to come apart. The second email came the next day, an attachment, a newspaper scan from 1958. The headline, local children claim to see Corazon in the sewers. Not a clown, Corazon. The name was there, printed in ink, decades before the novel was even written. An hour later, I tried to find it again. The scan was gone. The thread was gone. Every trace of the name had vanished. Something was watching me. Something was correcting my mistakes. Then the hallucinations started. Balloons on my doorstep. A carnival song playing from a radio that wasn't plugged in. My own notes rewritten in a hand that wasn't mine. The same sentence over and over. The name changes, but the thing remains. The final message came last night. No text, just an audio file. I played it. I swear to you, I shouldn't have. It was a voice. My voice. But wrong. Slurred. Warped. As if I was speaking from the bottom of a well. And behind it, something else. Something breathing. Something listening. I don't have much time. I leave this as a warning, a final, wretched attempt to keep you from following the same path, from making the same mistake. But as I write these words, a terrible thought settles in my mind, heavy and cold. What if it's already too late? What if, by reading this, you have already been seen? The thought will fester. It will take root, curling like damp fingers around the back of your skull, whispering its name in the spaces between your thoughts. You might try to shake it off. Convince yourself it's just a story, just words on the screen. But that's the thing about it. The moment you begin to understand, it understands you. It watches, it waits. And once it sees you, once it knows that you know, I'll never let you go.